This year we're very fortunate to have somebody who maybe, two people who, we see their faces all the time, sorry, I keep moving around. But I don't ever really know how significant these two guys are. So I'd like to invite up on stage Rab MacDonald and Sheila MacDonald, who will do our awards handover. I'm going to hear enough of me all night, so I'd like you now to give a big hand to the Parkinson of Castle Douglas. Kirstie Marshall is going to fire a few questions at Rab and Sheila. Thank you, Kirstie.
I thought it was Tony Jardine.
Okay, so first of all, when and how did your career as a technical scrutineer start, Rab?
Probably way back in about 1960, early. I happened to be in a garage in Bottery one day, and a gentleman who has since passed on asked me to go to Charter Hall with him to give him a hand when the racing was still at Charter Hall. So I would probably be around the very early 60s, somewhere in that region. And believe it or not, my sidekick was with me then.
Okay, so you've met almost everybody from Scotland who was rallying during your career. Who sticks in mind?
There's only one person who's sticking in your mind, I think that was Scotland. Really, you know, he was just the greatest. And it'd be very hard to beat any. There's a lot of young guys, yeah, there's other guys come along, you know, and came and went, but Colin's the one who's really stuck.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but I think too there's other people, you know, maybe a lot of the young ones don't know them, but Drew Gallagher, you know, people like that who were there, you know, in the time, and I think they're the people that stick in your mind.
Unfortunately, the two we've mentioned are both deceased.
Your job's taking you to all the exotic rally events. What are your highlights?
Well, I think the highlight was probably being at the Autosport show in Birmingham one day, and somebody asked me what I was doing virtually next week. I said, why? Well, there's a rally in Abu Dhabi. We're needing a technical guy to go for the FIA. So a quick phone call to clear the holiday list again, and we were on a plane to Dubai. We were even in the wrong country to start with. Anyway, I think it was about 150k taxi ride got us into Abu Dhabi, and then we spent another 5 years then round the whole of the Middle East doing the Middle East Rally Championship for the FIA, and that was fantastic. During that time we were also involved in two of the delegate FIA rallies, world rallies, one being, well, three of them actually, one being Rally Jordan, one being Rally Japan, another one was Rally Ireland. So we're involved in all these over the years, you know. Yeah. So, yeah.
Which fellow scrutineer did you fail in 1970s for having no brakes on his Ford Escort?
Fellow scrutineer? Trick question, it was Alan Marshall. Willie Gregg, maybe?
Yeah.
No, no.
It was the Fiesta Rally.
Fiesta Rally? No.
Jim McDowell.
Ah! You could get him every day of the week.
Okay, and Sheila, you partnered Rob of most of his travels throughout motorsport. What's been the highlights for you?
Well, I think there's probably many actually, but as Rab just said, probably going to the Middle East, I mean, we'd probably never have been in these places if it hadn't, you know, if we hadn't been there at the time. But at the same time, our own rallies at home, particularly in Scotland, because there's a good friendship, I think, with everybody, and there's friends that you've got there that you'll have for years. So I think the whole lot really, I wouldn't say there's any particular one, but the Middle East was an experience, and Japan, because we would never have been there. We hadn't been at the Autosport show at that time.
Quite funny, when we were in Japan, we were just about to leave, and we were back at the airport hotel, and going to, well, I never go to bed without a drink, which is, you might dehydrate in the middle of the night. But we had a drink and closed the fridge door. We were in bed. The next thing, the fridge started to vibrate like nothing else. And Sheila says, "What's that?" I says, "Well, I think it's just a fridge. It's a wee bit old. But I believe it was maybe just a bit of rumble coming from somewhere else, you know." It wasn't the best thing in your life, but Japan was very good, actually, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Is that it? Yeah. Excellent.
Just before we go, I mean, Rab and I wouldn't be where we are, doing what we do, what we enjoy doing, if it hadn't been for everybody here. You know, David is organising, the competitors have put in a lot of time. I think if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be sitting here. Thank you.
I think one thing we've got to remember as scrutineers that you're our customers, but the customer's not always right.
Kirstie, could you come up and do another little favour for us, please? We have a couple of little gifts here for our presenters. Anyway, thank you very much, Rab and Sheila. Next time I see you in the car, I won't waken you up, I know.
Well done.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. You may now stand now.
David, thank you for asking us that. Just standing here, I think there's been one trophy not collected because of ill health. We've been to many prize givings. You should be proud of yourself.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much. You see, I couldn't have done that tonight without my assistant or my interviewee. Kirstie, if you could just like to say thank you to you. We've got your little friend. It's a man in black clothing carrying a box of black magic. So, thank you very much, Kirstie.